I've covered the issues of quality journalism, gender equality and journalism safety. These are not separate issues because you will never have quality journalism without gender equality. You cannot have a thriving journalism when attacks on journalists go unpunished. And none of these are possible if you don't have press freedom.
Quality journalism has to be open to its public, has to become the center of the information that the public produces.
For me, it's very much about trust. It's about getting trust from the audience, because if you have trust, then it's much harder for politicians, for instance, to hurt you.
Trust of the people is what we have to get, whatever the risk. And that can mean imprisonment, banning, which my magazine has had experience, or even death.
Is the story well told? Does it, reflect all the sides to the story? But basically, does it help the people to take informed decisions? Does it advance society in a way? Does it help for change?
Culture is important. Diversity of support is important. And between those two things, I think that you can be independent, or at least ethical.
About experience of Hungarian journalists, because I just love what they did. They also are part of European Union, not enough grant, and they received money from Soros Foundation or Open Society Institute. But because of their good job, they're really working very well, they were attacked by government. All these smear campaigns like, oh, they are just Soros people, Soros spy, American spy. I know how it feels. We time to time hear the same about ourselves. But my Hungarian colleagues, they have a good sense of humor. So they came up and said, yes, we are Soros spies. And they produced t-shirts like this, saying, we are Soros army.
If we want to have a well-functioning media market with this huge commercial influence that we have today, we need public service broadcasters, we need political support for public service broadcasters, and here the European politicians can do more.
I think one can get government support if it's channeled in a way that politicians don't get to decide who specifically gets the money.
Finally, you cannot be a good journalist. You cannot improve your journalism if you're completely fearful and you're not protected and you cannot speak because you're really frightened. Frightened economically, or frightened politically, or frightened for your life. So the last thing we're doing, and I think that's the key, something that we really want to do, is help journalists become more resilient.